Hey everyone, it's South African Chris here from New Zealand. How are you? I hope you're doing well. It's been a hectic week. Yesterday was a public holiday here in New Zealand, 1st of February. Today being the 2nd of February, as you can see here on my screen. So it's currently almost 10 minutes to 9 in the PM, and we're going to look at a couple of stocks. So, what are we doing? Should we buy GameStop? Should we get into AMC? Let's have a quick chat about that before we get into the top stocks for the week. So, with everything happening this week, I thought it would be a good idea to get into GameStop and to buy some AMC. I actually happen to have some AMC stocks from December. And I'll tell you about that in a second. So here you can see my current portfolio growth. I set this back to the beginning of this year. So you can see the yellow line is my portfolio performance and the blue line is the S&P 500. So I've been doing fairly decent compared to the S&P 500. Following my trading strategies, not listening to the news and not trading on fundamental information, but the technical analysis and technical indicators. But then I got excited about everything happening with GameStop and AMC, so I jumped on the bandwagon and I crashed really hard. You can see here it was doing quite well. Technical analysis, technical analysis, technical analysis, fundamentals, boom. Not saying everybody lost. A lot of people did make good profit. They're good at that kind of strategy. I'm just not. I'm good at following the numbers and the technical indicators and finding those patterns. I'm not someone who understands the social psychology that well, and that has just been a very expensive lesson for me again. The other thing that happened to me is I had the AMC stocks, so I wasn't scrambling to buy them. I had them. I wanted to sell them. But the broker I used for that is a New Zealand-based broker called Hatch Invest, and I put through a limit order to sell, and it didn't go through. So by the time they woke up, it already dropped 50% again. I contacted the broker and they just said, yeah, America's brokers actually halted the trades and they weren't able to trade. It's not their fault, blah, blah, blah. Excuses. But at the same time, I was also trading using Tiger Trade, my preferred platform at this moment. It doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles that Think or Swim has from TD Ameritrade, which I also use, but it's quick. They didn't limit any of the purchases or trades on any of those stocks, so they were trading right through without interruption, unlike Robinhood and for a little time at least TD Ameritrade as well. So that went okay. I was able to buy and sell, but I caught the tail end of all of it. So when GameStop was going up ridiculously, I thought there's no way it could continue, so I went short. It continued to go up, so I lost. I had to close positions because of the whole going short thing. I'm not going to explain it to you. The internet and YouTube is full of explanations on what happened to GameStop and short selling. But then I realized, okay, it's going further up. Let me try and recover some of the lost money. So I went long. I made some money back, but then I listened to what the guys and girls were saying on Reddit. So I went to the Wall Street Bets forum, and people were saying get into BlackBerry, get into Nokia, and there were a few others. So I did. Everybody said hold the line, but then the brokers the next day, unfortunately for the masses, prevented a lot of these retail traders to trade, including myself on those platforms. I had Tiger Trade, but the plan didn't succeed because a lot of people weren't able to trade. Moral of the story, I lost a lot of money because I didn't follow my strategy. So I'm back to my strategy, and let's have a look at that. So for this month so far, being the second day, I've had some good luck. I went and bought some workhorse shares after some recommendations from Zip Trader. I don't just blindly follow, I listen to what he says, and it's usually good information, but then I go into the indicators and I have a look for it myself. I also use the machine learning prediction model that I've developed in this software of mine, and if we quickly run that, you'll see it tells us around about $60. We're at 38.86 at the last close, and 39.10 in post market. So it really looks like there is potential. And yesterday it did gain a lot. So I've made some good profit there, and I sold again. So it's $1,231 in one day, and the same with SOL, Rin Solar Limited. Set there a target price and a stop loss and made some good profits. That was pretty good. Also, I've adjusted my strategy a bit. I realized in December and January, I set my stop loss not low enough. So I would often hit the stop loss and then it would bounce back up, and I'm losing potential profits because my stop loss was not, the range wasn't large enough. So I've made it closer to 1 ATR. I've built in a new button here to do that for me. So if we just add a new trade, you'll see there's a button here that says give me the ATR. That means the cost price minus the current ATR, and it'll give me exactly that. Then I go and say for the profit, give me twice the ATR. All right, and that's kind of where I set it at now, between 1.5 and 2 ATR. In this case, 2R might be too much. R being that acceptable loss value subtracted from the cost. All right, and we want that to be equal or close to at least 1 ATR. So I'm going in on Workhorse again, right? I'm going in on Fubo TV, and I'm going in on Blink Charging Company. I've already gone into Alibaba and Mara yesterday. Now, if we just quickly look at the technical indicators there, let's look at Alibaba. So obviously Alibaba had a bad month or two with all the politics in China, but it seems to be better now. They're making a comeback, and we can see here from the predicted close, it's very close to actually exactly the current close. $1 up. So not much, but based on what we can see here on the MACD, normally we wouldn't go if there isn't a strong bullish trend, but we do see that there hasn't been a crossover in the last 5 days, and that the blue is above the red, which is good. We also had this turnaround here just above the 30 line on the stochastics, meaning it's oversold, so good time to buy. We can see an uptrend on the ATR, and we can see an uptrend here bouncing above that 50 line on the RSI. So all good indicators. So going in for it. I shouldn't have closed that. All right, so on Mara, again, another one from Zip Trader. He's been talking about this stock for quite some time. If we run the quick predict, then we see a significant jump predicted there. So almost to $38 from $20.74. Looking good on the candles. We can see the Donchian channel drawn in here as well. When I bought yesterday, it was a little bit lower on the stochastics, and the MACD, it's still bullish. Bit of a duck face happening there, but looks like it might bounce away, so we're in the clear. And then high ATR and the RSI looking not too bad. So that was the call on Mara. Also here, you'll see if we look at the target price and stop loss for Alibaba, target price of $270.10 and a stop loss at $246.01. Could have just rounded that down really. On Mara, $26 target price, stop loss 19. Right. Workhorse, let's look at this one. So wait for this to finish loading. Right, so Workhorse, we've got a target price of $45.50, stop loss at $35.50. All right. Now here we're on a quick predict. We're on 38.86. In the post market we've gone up 0.62%, and I've got a predicted close here of $61.35. That's massive. We can look at the candle patterns here if you want to as well. Yes, it is not oversold, but there's a bounce back here, so we could see something similar to what happened here in December, right? And very bullish momentum here on the MACD, very bullish on the ATR, and very bullish on the RSI. So all of that looks good. I think it's reasonable to continue trading this one. On Fubo TV, I had a look on my tools here. I built in a function to find most active stock. So I looked at the active stocks, and I also then look at the price, and I look at some of the other information. But basically I shortlisted these, so I didn't use my stock finder as I usually do. The market's just too crazy. But this looks pretty good. If we look at the prediction, we're currently on $52.40. Predicted price $65.72. Really good. Correct location on the stochastics, looking fairly okay. No crossover within the last 5 trade days, so that's pretty good. And then we've got the ATR looking good. We've got the RSI bullish. So yes, that's definitely a yes on Fubo. And $62.50 target price, $46.50 on stop loss. Blink, $56.50 on target price, $43.50 on my stop loss. Now we'll look at those in detail a bit, those target price and stop losses. But again, here on the candlesticks, we can see there's a bit of a downtrend, but it seems like it's bouncing off that EMA 18. The prediction looks like there's at least a good potential margin for profit. We're on the correct level on the stochastics, looking good on the MACD, looking good at the RSI, looking good on the ATR. Okay, so those are my picks for the day. So for today's trades, Workhorse, Fubo, Blink. If you're in with Alibaba, Mara, or Workhorse, I would hold. With Renesola, I sold, but I only bought yesterday because there was a good profit, and once we hit that 2R, then it's time to sell. So quickly looking at Alibaba, if I look at the target price here, you'll see potential profit 791, potential loss 365. Not that super, but it's some money. On Mara, much better. So a big potential payoff, but the loss also a little bit more significant. But we go about 1 to 2 on those. Workhorse. Oops. We'll get back to Workhorse. On Fubo, we've got almost $2,500 potential profit and $1,350 potential loss, which really is not bad. If Workhorse works out again, then we're looking at a $2,000 payout and $1,148.40 potential loss. And then finally on Blink, just looking at this one quick, again, good payoff, and the risk more or less half of that. So that's where I'm at. This is what I'm going to trade. I'm going to stick to my technical approach and not get sucked into the big hype and the fundamentals trading and potentially losing a good chunk of money again. If you made money during all of this, good on you. I did manage to sell my AMC stocks through the other platform, and I did make some profit. It's not to be crying about. I made a 70% profit, which is great, but it would have been almost double if they sold when I wanted to. Anyway, no point crying over spilt milk. It's all about how do we make it back, how do we bounce back, and if I can use this information and this experience to improve my strategy, to improve my software, and to share that with you, then that's a win too. Anyway, if you like what you see, if you want to use my planning software, MI Pro, get it from the links in the description. please remember to like, share, subscribe, and then you'll receive notifications of future videos as I do them. Hope you have a great day. Trade safe, and all the best.
I like it.